We asked you to join us in creating content, and your response has been overwhelming. Thank you. We now work one-on-one with our followers from around the world. I'm Clinton Lubber. Welcome to my classroom. Hey there, dphog, and welcome to Classroom. Today we're having a look at the work of Mert Yarar. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Mert, your work is good. This classroom is probably going to be a little bit different to most of the other classrooms that we have, and I don't think it's so much about having a look at your work and critiquing your work. It's about having a look at your work and trying to help you to add to your work. When I have a look at the 3 images that you sent me, and then I have a look at your website, you're an accomplished photographer. You do know what you're doing, and I think a lot of people probably already look up to you and what you do. So I think I'd maybe like to talk about adding more directing power and adding more producing power to your work. Because technically you know how to light your subjects and you do know how to pose your subjects. I can't really fault what you're doing. The only part of your work technically that I'd like to quickly touch on is your post-production. Your retouching for me in some of your images either looks like you need to maybe change your technique. I'm not sure how you do your retouching. It's sort of a level just below where you should be to match up with the level of your photography. Other than that, that's all I want to talk about on a technical level. When it comes to directing your subjects and producing your shoots, I'd love to see what you do out on location. You haven't got any location shots up on your website here, and I think you'd be a good location photographer. I think if you took the time to produce some of your shots in a location, I would love to see what you come up with, because I believe that it would be good, and I believe that some location work would really add to what you're doing. The next thing is directing. And when I look through your website, it feels a little bit to me like your directing is a little bit one-dimensional. You're good at what you do and you're replicating that. I'm not seeing any of your work breaking free and really expressing and really getting emotional. And if you go and have a look at a video that we uploaded last week, how to shoot a fashion portrait, we spoke a lot about sort of human imperfections. And I'm not asking you to imitate what we're doing over there, but just to take some of the lessons about the emotional aspects, the soul and the energy of that person that you really force into your works. Because when I look at a few of your works over here, man, I'd just love to see you add that and just make you a very much more interesting photographer that stands out from the pack. Because as I said, I can't critique your work. Your work is good. Technically, everything's there. But I'd like you to add that to your work and to take some of these portraits to another level. And I'm hoping that you surprise yourself when you do that to your work. This new dimension to your work is only going to come through pre-production. You're in a safe zone in the studio over here. Now in your pre-production, I want you to research historical characters, genre, art history, and don't go and do it for weeks on end, which is advisable, but choose a character in your head that you want one of these people to be, and do what you're doing here because it's really good, but then take it a little bit further. Get them to maybe express a bit more with their body, or get them to extend a bit more emotions. Give them a storyline. Tell them that you are this character in history and this happened to you. Take your subjects to another level. Ask them to give you more, because you're giving them a lot as a photographer. And I think if you can get your directing down and ask your subjects to give you more, You'll be surprised at where your photography goes to from there. Mert, I hope this has helped, because it is difficult speaking to a photographer of your caliber, obviously. I think it's just that where you are now, start adding more and adding more, and man, your work is just going to explode. dphog, as always, please, if you're interested in joining us in classrooms, send 3 images to info@clintonlubber.com, and we do have a lot of applicants. Hopefully we get around to you soon, but keep it coming in. We'll see you next week.